Another myth. At the top of the backswing, the shaft has to be parallel to the ground. We've all heard that. I've heard it tens of thousands of times, and I still cannot work out why anybody would teach that as being a normal way of playing golf. My backswing is there. That's my full backswing. And to try and get my golf club parallel to the ground, I'll have to bend my arm. Well, that can't be a good thing. Or I'll have to let go of the club. Well, that can't be a good thing. Or I may have to lift my heel, straighten my right leg, and bend my arm. And none of those things are particularly good for hitting good golf shots. The golf club goes back as far as it goes back depending on each person's physique. I'm not particularly flexible. I can turn around to there, move my arms to there, hinge my wrist to there, and that's a pretty good backswing. My best score has been 66, my lowest handicap was +1, so that works. That works for me. Parallel is fine if you can turn your shoulders far enough, move your arms far enough, and hinge your wrist far enough. But it is not a necessity. You should not try and do it. The golf club goes back on a line, swing plane, swing arc, whatever you wish to call it, and it goes back, and it keeps on going back until you stop. I can stop about there. I could maybe try and get back more so the shaft is parallel, but my golf swing would be shot to pieces by then. Swing line, swing line. If I could keep on turning around, then yes, the club may be parallel to the ground. If I kept on going back and back and back, it would now point over to the right, which wouldn't be wrong. Shaft pointing to the left isn't wrong. Parallel to the ground isn't wrong. Shaft pointing to the right isn't wrong. It all depends on your physique. How far you can turn, how far you can move your arms away from your chest, and how far you can hinge your wrists. All those factors give you your unique backswing. The key is to stay on the right line. So we'll go back to the computer screen and I'll show you some fantastic good golfers, Open champions, PGA champions, and we'll look and see how many of them have the shaft parallel to the ground at the top of the backswing. So I guess we should start with John Daly. Very, very popular golfer. Won the Open Championship, won the US PGA Championship. That makes him a very, very talented golfer. Let's see if John Daly has the golf club parallel to the ground. Yep, more or less. But he won't stop there. On, and on. The golf club now is pointing just in front of the ball, really, almost at the tee marker. And with that swing, which I would never teach that swing, but it's a unique golf swing, he still won the US PGA and the Open Championship. So it must be a reasonably good swing for him to do that. Coming down, he just hits it through the ball. It's absolutely superb. But the point is, it is not parallel to the ground. Not parallel to the ground. So we'll look at somebody else now. Bobby Jones. This is John Jacobs, by the way, not Bobby Jones. He's just introducing Bobby Jones. Swing onto the screen. Nice man. So here's Bobby Jones, who was a golfing genius. Retired from golf at the age of 28 as an amateur. In 1930 he won the US Open for the fifth time. Sorry, the fourth time. The US Open for the fourth time, the US Amateur for the fifth time. He won the British Open for the third time, beating all the golf pros, and won the British Open just on one occasion. He then retired, and the golf club is not pointing parallel to the ground. So if anybody can convince me that that is a bad golf swing in a bad position, I'd be surprised, because Bobby Jones was just superbly good at playing golf. Let's watch it again. Fantastic swing. We will now look at Ernie Els. Ernie Els, brilliant golfer. Everyone's favourite golfer, Ernie Els. If I can find him, where's he gone to? Ernie Els playing with Vijay Singh at the Masters in a practice round. I think he's hitting maybe a 5 or 6 iron into the 18th green. And is the club parallel to the ground? Well, clearly not. So Bobby Jones, John Daly, Ernie Els, the club is not parallel to the ground, because it doesn't need to be. It needs to be in the position where you are in control of it. I'm going to split the screen and show you Byron Nelson. If I can find him, I'm sure he's here somewhere. Move him to the right a bit. Byron Nelson, to me, was one of the best ever golfers. In 1945, his average score for the whole of the year, 1945, don't forget, this is 55 years ago, his average score was 68.33 shots around. And he played in 30 tournaments in the year, and he won 18 of them. The club is not parallel to the ground. It's identical to the angle of Ernie Els. So there's two fantastic golfers with the club not parallel to the ground. The club goes back as far as you can take it back under control. Imagine Byron Nelson now having to bend his left arm about 40 degrees to get the club parallel to the ground, or Ernie Els doing the same, or letting go of the club to become parallel, to get it parallel to the ground. It just won't happen. Fantastic golf swings. The only person to beat Byron Nelson's scores, average scores for a year, have been Tiger Woods. In the year 2000, his average score was 67.79 shots around. So that makes Byron Nelson and Tiger Woods two of the best golfers ever lived. Not parallel to the ground. Great swing.